President Donald Trump has criticized the Associated Press for refusing to adopt the name Gulf of America instead of Gulf of Mexico. He expressed that he has every right to make such changes, just as the name of Mount McLean was changed without much opposition. Trump emphasized that he would continue to push for the change and keep the Associated Press out of the conversation until they acknowledge the new name, stressing his pride in the country and the importance of promoting its identity.
But the Associated Press just refuses to go with what the law is and what is taking place. It's called the Gulf of America now. It's not called the Gulf of Mexico any longer. I have the right to do it, just like we have the right to do Mount McKinley, and nobody's even challenging that. But only the essentially, it's primarily the Associated Press, and I don't know what they're doing, but I just say that we're going to keep them out until such time as they agree that it's the Gulf of America. We're very proud of this country, and we want it to be the Gulf of America.
In response to a reporter's question about Elon Musk not being a Dodge employee, President Donald Trump defended Musk, calling him a patriot. Trump explained that whether Musk is labeled as an employee, consultant, or something else doesn't matter to him, as he sees Musk as someone who is deeply supportive of his country. Trump also expressed that the question was asked at all, emphasizing that the ongoing crisis in Ukraine is far more pressing issue, with thousands of lives lost every week.
The White House said that Elon Musk is not a Doge employee and has no authority to make decisions. Can you clarify for us today
well, Elon
what his
Musk,
exact role is there?
Yeah. Elon is, to me, a patriot. So, you know, you could call him an employee, you could call him a consultant, you could call him whatever you want. But he's a patriot. I mean, look at the kind of things. I just said, just write it down, just in case that question got asked, right? And which I'm surprised it took so long, actually. But you know what? Ukraine's a bigger deal because people are dying by the thousands a week, thousands.
President Donald Trump has informed the press that he would prevent First Buddy Elon Musk from being involved in any space-related government decisions. This statement came after Trump was questioned about possible conflict of interest, considering Musk's role in Dodge pushed to reduce government spending and the company's contracts with the government.
How is that not a conflict of interest?
Well, I mean, I'm just hearing about it, and if there is, and he told me before I told him, but obviously I will not let there be any conflict of interest. He's done an amazing job. Any conflicts, I told Elon, any conflicts, you can't have anything to do with that. So anything to do with possibly even space, we won't let Elon partake in that.
Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to see you here. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Notice family, and without wasting much more time, let's dive into it. President Donald Trump has discussed his views on the ongoing war in Ukraine, emphasizing his belief that he has the power to end the conflict. He expressed the frustration over the lack of transparency regarding the billions of dollars the US has sent to Ukraine, questioning where the money is going.
Where is all the money that's been given? Where is it going? And nobody, I've never seen an accounting of it. We give hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't see any accounting. So I want to see peace. Look, you know why I want? Because I don't want all these people killed anymore.
Trump stressed that the war has caused unnecessary loss of life, both Russia and Ukraine, and that it should have never escalated. He argued that if he were in charge, he could have brokered a deal that would have preserved nearly all of the Ukraine land without any casualties or distractions.
I'm looking at people that are being killed, and they're Russian and Ukrainian people, but they're people. Doesn't matter where they're from on the whole planet. And I think I have the power to end this war. And I think it's going very well. But today I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land, everything, almost all of the land, and no people would have been killed, and no city would have been demolished, and not one dome would have been knocked down. But they chose not to do it that way.
Trump then criticized former President Biden for misleading the situation, calling his leadership pathetic and ineffective. He added that when he was in office, he ensured that a war like this would never happen.
But they chose not to do it that way. And President Biden, in all fairness, he doesn't have a clue. What he was so bad for this. It was so bad, so pathetic, so sad. But with all of that being said, look, it is what it is. When I left, there was no chance that this could have happened, but it happened because we had incompetent leadership at many different levels.
President Trump has criticized the Biden administration for spending an enormous $9 trillion, claiming it was wasted on issues like wokeism, transgenderism, and LGBTQ plus causes, which he labeled as part of broader scam. He argued that the money was essentially thrown away, particularly on what he called the Green New scam, one of many such failures in the country's history. Trump also pointed out that these expenditures were being directed outside the United States rather than benefiting the American people.
They spent money like nobody's ever spent. They were given $9 trillion to throw out the window. $9 trillion. And they spent it on the Green New scam, I call it. It's the greatest scam in the history of the country. One of them. We have a lot of them, I guess, but one of them. Dollar-wise, probably.
DEI and wokeism and transgenderism.
Well, that's all part of it, yeah.
And LGBTQ plus.
Yes.
By the way, not in America. Other countries, not here.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has visited the Abrahamic family house in Abu Dhabi, which is the United Arab Emirates. This complex features a Catholic church, a Jewish synagogue, and an Islamic mosque, symbolizing interfaith harmony. During his visit, Rubio toured both the synagogue and the mosque. This visit follows the significant discussion between the U.S. and Russia regarding the Ukraine war. Rubio's trip to the UAE aimed to strengthen diplomatic relations and explore opportunities for collaboration on regional stability and peace initiatives. And don't forget, the Abrahamic House stands as a testament to the UAE commitment to promoting religious tolerance and dialogue among different faiths. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt addressed concerns about the government's handling of Social Security funds and recent media reports. She firmly rejected the fear spreading from certain media outlets, which were attempting to scare Americans into thinking the current administration is going after their hard-earned tax dollars and Social Security checks. Leavitt clarifies that President Trump has instructed Elon Musk and the Doge team to investigate fraud within the Social Security Administration. While they haven't yet begun the process of digging into the books, there are doubts that millions of fraudulent payments are being made to deceased individuals.
And I've been fighting fake news reporters all day long here in the Washington, D.C. swamp who are trying to fearmonger the American people into believing that this administration is going after their hard-earned tax dollars and their hard-earned Social Security checks. So I want to set the record straight. President Trump has directed Elon Musk and the Doge team to identify fraud at the Social Security Administration. They haven't dug into the books yet, but they suspect that there are tens of millions of deceased people who are receiving fraudulent Social Security payments.
Leavitt laid out the specific goals for the investigation, which include identifying and ending duplicate payments, stopping payment to deceased individuals, and ensuring that the integrity of the Social Security system is protected for hardworking Americans who have paid into it their entire lives. She reassured viewers that those who have honestly contributed to the system will continue to receive their Social Security checks, regardless of the investigation.
And so their goal in going into the Social Security Administration is to identify three things. Number one, to identify duplicate payments and to end them, to identify payments that are going to deceased people who are no longer living and should no longer be receiving that money, to protect the integrity of this system for hardworking Americans who have been paying into it their entire lives. So rest assured to all of the people watching your show tonight, if you paid into the system, honestly, you will continue to receive your Social Security checks.
Leavitt urged the public not to buy into the lies of the mainstream media, reinforcing that the goal is to protect and preserve the system for the people who depend on it.
Do not buy into the lies from the legacy fake news media who are trying to fear you and scare you into believing otherwise. This is what we've seen them do about President Trump for years with every promise that he has made. And he's going in there to protect your hard-earned money. That is the ultimate goal.
Thank you for sticking around and thank you for watching. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hope to see you in the next video.